Games, Brrraains A Head-Banging Life, and with a track by track, and we're looking at The End of Heartache by Killswitch Engage, the third studio album by the American metalcore band, released May 11th, 2004 through Roadrunner Records. First album to feature vocals from Howard Jones, and first album also to feature drummer Justin Foley. This was the first Killswitch album I heard fully. I'd heard a song or two in the past.
Yeah, I'd
some of the more obvious ones, you know, with Jesse Leach singing, but this was the first full album.
I think I do prefer Howard's vocals.
They're either or for me, do you know? It's either or. They're both capable of range, so I don't really have a massive love or dislike for either, if that makes sense.
I do prefer Howard Jones. But yeah, it's the first album I listened to in full.
Yeah, definitely. It's certainly the first album I know I bought of Killswitch Engage. During my youth, I loved this album. I love this. I thought it was so fucking heavy, you know, so unique. You know, I'm not saying we're smiling and laughing as if like we've got massively different opinions now. I do still think it's a very good album. But like a lot of bands, I love this at a point. Now I don't love it. Yeah. I like it. You know, I don't love Killswitch Engage.
It's like when people say, "Oh, they're going to headline." I'm just thinking, going, "How?"
Yeah, what are we missing? You know, that kind of thing.
I enjoy it. It's not me slamming them. It was just a case of listening back to this. It's a bit. Okay.
It's over time. Yeah. I think it's over time.
Yeah.
You know, and that's certainly important. 2004. We'd emerged from the gloom of metalcore, new metal at this stage, and very much the rise of metalcore.
Yeah.
Really, and Killswitch were quite a formidable band. I think they were a known name before this record, but this is the one that certainly pushed them into the big time, got them up higher on bills and more well known, obviously through the support of Roadrunner Records. So it kicks off with A Bid Farewell. It's not the strongest opener, if I'm honest. While I've always loved the range of Howard's voice, the stop-start approach doesn't excite me that much, even though it has chunk on another level.
So I put soaring vocals on chorus, not overly exciting as an opener.
Yeah.
So we kind of agreed on that one. You don't want more impact if you're coming in, especially with a new vocalist as well.
Well, I don't think the vocals are necessarily the issue. But, you know, it's a common problem with Fractal's album is it's heavy, and sometimes I wonder if it's heavy for heavy's sake. You know? Then we get Take This Oath. I don't mind this one. Drumming is red hot in particular, but I really don't like the chorus.
Do you know, I quite enjoyed it. I liked having Jesse's vocals on this one because he obviously pops up on this one.
Does he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I like having both of them on there. I thought not a bad track, but again, I said it didn't stand out as a special track for me. So. It's
certainly not one when I think of this album. It's not the kind of track I come back to and go, "Oh, that's the one you need to listen to." Then we get When Darkness Falls. The eruption at the start is face melting stuff. It's a real headbanger, and the guitar flare is pretty cool sounding.
I was mainly focused on the vocals.
Okay.
But I like the clean much more than like the shouty stuff. I've always liked that with like his singing. I don't. It's too rough. I just don't enjoy it as much.
Okay. No, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's like, isn't the whole point of the variation? If he was singing like clean all the way through.
Yeah, I just don't like the rough part of it. So.
Okay, fair enough. And then we get Rose of Sharon. Yeah. I'm really not sure how I feel about this track anymore. It was certainly one when I think like, oh, okay, what's a memorable Killswitch Engage song? It obviously is this, and I do still kind of like it.
Yeah,
but the problem is it's so overplayed that even when I was re-listening to this track by track, I feel myself cringing, just because it sounds silly, but it takes me back to like it's a nostalgia thing, but it's not a good nostalgia feeling, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's where I'll be like, oh, this song's so fucking cool, yeah, you know, and it's like, you know, you cringe a little bit because it's like. That's all right. It's a good song. It's a good song. Like it's catchy.
Yeah.
You know?
I still like it.
What would I give to be home?
So, a very familiar one, and I still enjoy it, so I still listen to it.
It's not that, like I said, it's not. I think it's a bad song.
No,
it's
no,
just,
there's nothing like that.
It's just like one of those where it's like, if you ask me to like, let's put a Killswitch Engage track on or whatever, I don't think I'd choose this one unless I was doing it in an ironic, we're having an old school party kind of
an
way.
old school playlist.
You know, that's kind of how I see it. Inhale. It's a brief intermission, soft melody. It's fine. See these as momentary chances just to take a momentary breather because there's very little in way of variation in tracks.
I quite preferred that. I preferred having a nice instrumental little bit than stupid talk. You know, like last few albums we've done have been stupid effects or something.
It depends on what the context is.
I know, yeah, but in this I thought it quite nice, just like a nice instrumental.
It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah. You know, Breathe Life. For me, it's another killer drum showcase, but not a lot else. Highlights an issue I have with the album as a whole, and that is how samey.
Same formula.
It's a very, very familiar formula from beginning to end. And this was a track where it really kind of jumped out at me and went, I call it, like, it makes me mind of like meat. I can't think of the words. Meat and potatoes metal. So it's very much, that's what we kind of say about metalcore, isn't it? And this is a good example of it, I think.
Like, you're not going to turn it down. It's not like dry bread and water it, but it's just nothing sparking your palate. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I just put a fast pace back into things after the instrumental.
Yeah, that's what it is,
It was just kind of getting back into the rhythm again a bit.
We get the End of Heartache. Maybe my favourite track on the album. It's a banger. A great example of how great a vocalist Howard is. The tempo change is different. The burst of intensity and the chorus are all very noteworthy.
Like I say, almost like it's like a ballad. I like it. So it's heavy, but it's a bit of a ballad feel to me.
Okay, I mean, use the word ballad, it conjures up an image.
Count as a ballad.
I guess it's a metal ballad,
yeah. Like the inclination behind it, the thought behind it is very kind of, it's a nicer.
It's certainly one of the best tracks on the album. I think that
definitely.
For sure.
Yeah.
A Declaration. It's a strong effort. Layered vocals that built upwards work quite nicely.
I said it didn't do much for me.
Okay.
I was again saying that same sort of familiar feeling of every track. But...
Well, yeah, with an album like this as well, like that familiarity, particularly when you already know the band quite well, and the longer you get into the album, I find harder to focus, so it takes a little bit of more effort, kind of like be like, okay, we're not just trying to get to the end, so we can write some notes about it, that kind of thing. And sometimes the notes are very, very small. In the case of World Ablaze, I literally just wrote, it's got some serious chunk to it.
Yeah, I've put the form wearing a little thin, fast, clean, rough vocals. So I know that's metalcore, but it was just kind of like padding for time, really.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and you kind of get that feeling as well, because then we get another melodic intermission with And Ember's Rise. It's kind of like, did we really need that? Another one. There's 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 tracks, 2 of them intermissions. Why not make it a 10-track album then?
Yeah.
Like, there's no story being told here. This isn't a what do we call it? What do they call it?
What's the word? Something album.
Concept album.
That's the word.
So like, there's not like any particular reason not just to cut them and have it 10 tracks instead, or even 11, and just have one halfway through that breaks up the album in 2 parts if you want to do it that way.
Yeah.
Particularly, this isn't like a penultimate track. It's not like we've done an intermission to lead to a big finale, because then we get Wasted Sacrifice. And this track does very little for me, beyond the obvious metalcore heaviness, where it's just like, okay, cool, I can headbang to this, and it's fine. It's got a rhythm, and that's cool. And if I was particularly lonely and I needed a track to play, I wouldn't turn this down, that kind of thing. But I wouldn't go out of my way to listen to tracks like this.
Yeah, I think I want more of a stronger opinion. I want a song to give me more of a stronger opinion. This is just like, okay.
Well, yeah, it's often like many albums, penultimate track, it's kind of like, oh, is that just it? Yeah. And we do wrap up with Hope Is, which is a good finale for me. It's a little bit thrashier, a bit of groove as well, plenty of meat to the bones. It's a strong finish.
I would have ended with the End of Heartache as an end song. I wouldn't have had this one.
You're just moving the End of Heartache.
For Impact. Yeah, I think it's a good song, but I think I would have had End of Heartache to kind of finish off the album. So I enjoyed Hope Is, but I don't think it was as good as a closing track as they could have
No, I disagree because I don't like I said, I don't mind Hope Is, but had we moved the End of Heartache there, then you would have been going from Inhale, Breathe Life, Declaration, World Ablaze, and Embers Burn. It might have been a struggle to even get through to the finale without having something that brought you back in. That's the End of Heartache. Killswitch Engage's The End of Heartache, their most famous album. I just don't think it holds up as strongly as it did when I was younger. I think that's much my fault as anything else, which is just a change in taste and musical direction. It's not the only album that I've listened to recently, apart of track by tracks, where I loved when I was younger, and then I've gone, ooh.
Yeah, it doesn't hold as much.
You know, that kind of thing. Now. But I don't think it's a bad album. If this was a review, it'd be like a 6 to 7 out of 10, like that kind of thing. Like perfectly solid, perfectly good, got some great tracks on it. And, you know, it's like you almost want to wipe your mind sometimes, be like, oh, well, if I wiped my mind and just gave Rosa Sharon, for example, a fresh listen, I'd probably love it again now, like I said, because it's very rhythmic, very catchy, very chorus driven, you know, some nice, you know, stuff like that, whereas it's purely based on this track by track, it's based on the fact that I've heard this song hundreds of times. That's not Killswitch's fault.
No, that's the thing. That's sometimes it's frustrating because a lot of these compilation albums, you wear the songs, you hear the songs to death. Yeah. And then there's part of an album, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this one again. Yeah. Would you go for a top 3? Oh
yeah, of course. I almost forgot to do that. Okay.
So I would go for Rose of Sharon.
Sharon.
Rose of Sharon. End of Heartache. And I would have gone for Take This Oath, because I like the 2 different vocal styles.
I'd probably go for The End of Heartache, Hope Is, and When Darkness Falls. Yeah, they're my 3 for sure. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?